Late yesterday evening, the Biden White House announced a surprise news conference. Biden had just been exonerated by Special Counsel Robert Hur, whose report indicated that Biden had committed a number of crimes with classified documents, but because Hur believed the jury would find Biden to be a well-meaning older man with a poor memory, he didn't bother recommending any charges. So it sounded like good news, right? But in truth, the details of what he wrote of Biden's mental decline were far more politically damaging than recommended charges for mishandling classified information could ever be. Robert Hur stated Joe Biden is too old and senile to be convicted of a crime. He said this of a man who's running the most powerful country in the world. It's insane. And then for some reason, Biden and his team decided to jump on TV for 15 minutes that most closely resembled the Hindenburg disaster. Biden started off by bragging about his exoneration while claiming Trump deserves to go to prison for his charges. And then he got mad at Robert Hur, the special counsel, for using Biden's age as the reason that he let Biden's crimes go unpunished. Biden was furious. Evidently, he expected to get off scot-free and also have no political blowback whatsoever. Here are the highlights from last night, including the president's anger erupting at the media. Take a look.
There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing.
Concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment. Let me answer your question.
Quite an evening. At one point, Biden said it was outrageous for Robert Hur to claim that he couldn't remember within years when his son died, while claiming he still has Beau Biden's rosary. Biden then went black. He couldn't remember the name of the church that it came from, while basically demanding everybody believe that he has no memory problems. After his fury, he just walked away. And then he walked back up to the podium to broadly attack Israel for no good reason. His communications team backstage ready to walk into traffic. Biden then confused Egypt with Mexico while talking about Gaza. And then that pretty much summed up 15 minutes from hell for the Biden administration. It was a flat-out train wreck last night, and a lot of you watched it because you were here with me last night, and it happened right toward the end of the show. So the machine flipped into high gear today, as you knew it would, to try and save Biden's hide. Some of the most embarrassing behavior that we have seen from the establishment media in this country over the past 3 or 4 years. As long as they've been trying to prop Biden up, this was maybe some of the worst that we have seen. Take a look.
So the way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated.
He didn't have enough to charge the president, but he's a Republican and felt the need to take some political shots.
He has a political piece of bad news woven in there, which is what seems like cheap shot, derogatory attacks on him, which I wouldn't call normal course of investigatory material.
No, some of the tapes they heard were painfully slow. The discussion was painfully slow.
That's right. Painfully slow. And I just thought, well, who's in pain? Like what that adverb is such a, it's doing so much work editorially.
The job of prosecutors is to put up or shut up. If you have a case, bring your case. If you don't have a case, shut the hell up or say as little.
Do you think he's playing politics?
I absolutely do.
Oh, Lubin Tubin is back on CNN, everybody. That's nice to see. Basically, excoriating a special prosecutor for explaining why he let Joe Biden off the hook. Tubin also compared this report to James Comey's report on Hillary Clinton, and he's exactly right. This was a long list of crimes, and then at the very end, an inexplicable exoneration. What they wanted was to be able to show that this was, you see what they're trying to do here. It's pretty obvious. And how about Obama's campaign manager claiming there wasn't enough to charge Biden? But Robert Hur is a partisan Republican who needed to take some shots at Biden. They'll say anything in this moment. They wanted to get him exonerated, and they didn't want any blowback whatsoever. Humiliation won't stop an ideologue from pushing their agenda, of course. At the LA Times, this op-ed by left-wing author and environmentalist Bill McKibben, age matters, which is why Biden's age is his superpower. That was written today. Imagine writing that today after what we saw last night. It's also interesting to see how much outrage over details the media claims are unnecessary or unusually harsh against Biden. Again, Robert Hur needed a way to let Biden off the hook. This was the reason that he had. And now they're angry at him for his reasoning for letting Biden off the hook when he clearly committed crimes. Think about all the salacious stories about Trump the media and DOJ have purged onto the American public over the years. Think about the Russian PP tape claim. That was on CNN and MSNBC for months, and they loved it. They sat there and laughed about it. And then we learned years later those salacious and ridiculous details were paid for by Hillary Clinton, and of course, nobody cared.